Guys, welcome back to Ed's Garage, and I am here inside of my Rivian. That's right. For most of you, you probably don't know that, despite doing all these Hyundai videos, that I currently own a Rivian, and today I'm going to be taking it for its first service appointment. So it's not maintenance that I'm getting done; it's actual repairs. I've had this vehicle now for a few months. I bought it last December, just before Christmas. Actually right on my birthday, which was pretty cool. Just worked out that way. It's a 2022 Rivian R1T, and it has about 40,000 kilometers on it. But unfortunately, it's got some problems. So Rivian is a brand new company. They haven't been around forever. I mean, they only started selling vehicles in 2022, and this is actually the first model that they produced. It's the quad motor, 835 horsepower, 950 or some odd foot-pounds of torque, absolute beast of a vehicle, and I love it. It's been an interesting few months. Not only because it's such a nice vehicle to drive and it's comfortable and quiet. It's very, very off-road capable. So I've got a couple of off-road videos on my other channel, Ed's Off-Road. Sorry, now it's called the Wobbly Wanderer. But in any case, I'm bringing it in for service because there are some things that are really driving me crazy with it, and I need to get them addressed. So the main problem that I'm having is currently there's no air conditioning, and I'm getting a thermal system fault. So the air conditioning pump is probably shot. I have leaking rear shocks. The front suspension is a little bit noisy, but that might actually be normal, unfortunately. And then I get this random service suspension system soon fault. And it doesn't happen all the time. It's just every now and then it happens, and then it doesn't go away for a day or two, and then eventually it goes away. It's really bizarre. So those are the major issues. But I'm also getting some wind noise out of the driver's side window, which I'm getting right now as well. I always need to kind of lower the window down and then put the window back up. My center console buttons, only one of the buttons works. There's two, so one on either side of the center console flap. The right one works, the left one doesn't. The charging door doesn't open sometimes, but again, it's an intermittent thing. Most recent issue is my USB stick for the built-in dash cam system. Basically, it uses all the cameras all the way around the truck, which, by the way, I mean, it has a lot of cameras. All of them are potatoes with the exception of like the rear camera and the box cam. Unfortunately, they're not very good cameras. But yeah, so the USB stick is no longer recognized as being fast enough to record, which only happened after doing a system update, which is weird. Okay. As far as doing system updates, they do often correct little glitches. So for instance, when I first got the truck, I couldn't put the vehicle in metric. Everything was in imperial. Of course, I live in Canada, so I wanted like kilometers per hour and all that stuff. Wouldn't let me do it. I would switch it, and it would immediately switch back to miles per hour. It was so bizarre. But that might have been because at that time the vehicle wasn't recognized by Rivian as being mine. And of course, these come from the States. And I bought it used, obviously. So you have to do this like procedure with Rivian to get it sort of into your name and everything. So it's probably from that. But weirdly, after doing a system update before Rivian knew it was in my name, or Rivian put it in my name, did a system update, and it allowed me to, and then it did another system update, and then I couldn't anymore. It was bizarre. But anyway, that problem seems to have resolved itself. But these weird little glitches are just strange. There's a pump built into the back, like a tire pump. It's built into the box, and you can set it to a pressure. So when I go off-roading, I air my tires down to 30 psi, and then when I go home, I air them back up to about 47 psi, 48 psi, which is what's on the door placard, by the way. I'm not one of those crazy people that pumps up the tires to the maximum pressure capable on the tire. Anyway, so You'll set the tire pressure to 47 psi. The pump will pump it up. It'll stop at 47 psi. Great. You go to do the next tire, and it blasts right by 47, goes all the way to like 56, 57, 58. It's kind of weird. And then every subsequent tire, it'll do the same thing. It'll just overpressure all of them. And the only one that gets the correct pressure is the first tire. Kind of a strange issue. Yeah, so anyway, so the reason I'm making this video is because I wanted to just kind of video document my experience with Rivian service. I live in a little town called Harrison Hot Springs in British Columbia. It's an absolute beautiful place, but the downside is it's pretty far from everything. Now, the sort of main city that we go to, you know, where I work and where we shop and everything, that's only about a half an hour away. But Vancouver is about 2 hours away. So that's what I'm on the drive for right now. So the service center for Rivian is all the way in Richmond, Vancouver. I say Richmond, Vancouver, but it's technically two cities. But anyway, it's all the way in Richmond, and it's 2 hours away, and that sucks. So it's the only service center in all of British Columbia, as far as I know. I think they're putting another one in the interior somewhere, but BC is a big place. To give you an idea, British Columbia, the province, is bigger than the country of Germany. So to give you an idea of the size of it, it's huge. I think it's like twice the size of Texas. So, but anyway, so here I am on my way, and we're gonna go drop off the vehicle. I'm really hoping that they have an available loaner for me, or that they can provide me with a rental or something like that. When I get there, I'm going to ask if they would be okay if I went inside the service shop, because I'd love to get a little bit of that on video. Maybe I'll talk to somebody there, do an interview or something like that. That'd be kind of cool as fun. That'd be kind of fun as well. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So stick with me, and in the next shot, I'll be at the Rivian Service Center. All right, made it here in good time, 10 minutes early here at Rivian. Kind of a weird, nondescript building. There's, however, Rivians everywhere. A lot of Rivians. Both directions. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in and see what it's all about. All right, so just here in the guest lounge, just got greeted by a very friendly service advisor. Oh, it's even carpeted. This is definitely not like any typical dealership experience that I've seen before. Check out the size of this shop. It is massive. Wow. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hoists. Wow. That's pretty cool. And it's very, very clean too. Like, everything looks super clean in there. Obviously there's no oil changes being done. Well, unless you count the gear reduction fluid. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So we got a little sort of desks here if you have like a laptop or something. Lots to read, comfortable couches. That's pretty cool. I'll see what else I can get away with here. Apparently I can't go into the shop because I don't have the proper safety attire, which makes perfect sense. I probably need like steel toe shoes to go around through the shop. Similar to our dealership, you can't really go in the shop unless you're wearing steel toes. Yeah. All right, so I got lucky. They had a loaner. Yay! It's actually parked right beside my truck. So yeah, pretty impressed with the service, gotta be honest. Sasha, the service advisor, was awesome. Set me up with a technician. We went for a drive and tried to reproduce some of the suspension noise that I've been dealing with, or at least what I thought was suspension noise, which turns out might not be suspension noise. He did hear it, but his suggestion was that it might be some plastic on the bottom of the truck that's just kind of rattling as you go over bumps. Sure, maybe. I have no idea. Weirdly, the technician didn't seem to know what I was talking about when I was talking about the CV shafts kind of having like a slip yoke design, which is strange because I literally had my hand on one of those half shafts, and I could move it and hear a clicking noise. And yeah, I don't know. He said that they were the same type of shafts as pretty much any other vehicle, CV shafts, which isn't the case. So I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen here and show you what I'm talking about, because that part was kind of weird. Yeah. In any event, I think I'm going to continue this video once I get some information from them as to what's going on with the vehicle, what they're going to do to it, what's going to be covered, what's not. It sounds like everything's going to get covered under warranty, which is awesome. I mean, it should, because it's all still within warranty period. So, yeah, we'll see what they say. All right, well, it has been a little bit. It's currently Wednesday, and apparently my truck is done, so just under bad considering all of the work that they needed to do. And so far, the experience has been fantastic. The Rivian app will tell you kind of updates along the way, sort of you know, what's in progress, what isn't in progress. They'll check off the different things that they've kind of covered and taken care of. And the service advisor, Sasha, he's been amazing. He has called twice, once to kind of give me an update as to what was going on and some parts that they had on order. And then the second time to let me know that everything was done and just confirm if there was any additional questions or concerns that I had. Honestly, so far the experience has been absolutely phenomenal. And one thing that I will say was very surprising was that they didn't try to sell me any add-ons. So they didn't actually, you know, try to say, yeah, you know, we kind of recommend you need XYZ, so you should probably get that done. They didn't do any of that. They just kind of took care of the things that I needed taken care of, and ignored anything else that they might have seen that they, you know, maybe they had a suggestion of, but apparently not. Apparently everything's great. Now, this vehicle has about 40,000 kilometers on it, about 30,000 miles roughly, 25,000 miles, I guess. So, you know, the fact that there's absolutely nothing else aside from stuff that was under warranty is a nice welcome surprise. I really was expecting that they would suggest getting a brake service done. That was the number one thing that I was expecting to hear, and no mention of it whatsoever. So that's pretty cool. Now I can do a brake service myself, so I'll probably do that anyway, because one thing I do find is that these vehicles, the brake really gets stuck on for the emergency brake. So when you put the vehicle into gear and start to drive off after it's been sitting overnight, there's always a fairly large clunk. Even this vehicle, this loaner, does exactly the same thing. So it just must be a fairly normal quirk for Rivians to do that. Now, I've seen that in other brands too, though. Don't get me wrong, it's not just a Rivian thing, but yeah, these ones definitely do it. So I'm on my way to the service center to pick up the truck, and yeah, it's another long drive. It's going to be probably an hour and 40 minutes to get there at least, but unfortunately I am picking it up right before and during rush hour, so we'll see how it goes. So what did they actually do? I have a list of everything that they repaired, but if I'll try to go off memory here. So the rear shocks have been replaced. If you remember from earlier, they were leaking whatever the oil is inside the shocks, and they also replaced the wiring harnesses underneath those shocks because of the fact that they were covered in that oil. So they think that the suspension system fault that I was running into was related to that. They're not 100% sure, so that error may come back, but it was gone by the time I got there as well, and it was pretty intermittent. But it stands to reason, right? They also said something about hydraulic lines, both front and rear, being replaced. I'll have to dig a little deeper into that. The button in the center console was replaced, the one that didn't work. They couldn't find anything wrong with the driver's side window, unfortunately, so I'll probably have to kind of figure something out there on my own. They replaced the charging door button, so the actual little sensor, that the capacitive sensor that you touch when you want to open the charging door. They replaced that again, even though it seemed to be working fine. So kind of nice that they're replacing things that, you know, you have concerns about but aren't necessarily reproducible. So pretty cool that they took care of that anyway. The tire pump, they let me know that apparently that's just, you just have to press set every time you do another tire. So when you finish pumping up one tire, you have to go back to the pump and actually hit the set button to tell it to get to that pressure a second time. Sorry, it's going to get a little bit noisy in here. All right, I'm going to come back to this. It is now hailing. Okay, well, it's sunny here. All right, so suffice to say, they replaced a lot of stuff. What they didn't fix was the road cam. Basically, there's like a built-in dash cam system that uses all the cameras. And it basically records onto a little flash drive. Since an update, it says that the flash drive is not fast enough, but it was perfectly fine prior to the update. So there must be a software glitch, and they mentioned that, you know, it looks like it's just a software bug. They did look into it a little bit, and other people apparently are experiencing the same problem. So I'm going to wait for the next update, see if that takes care of that issue. But yeah, I am now inside inside my truck, and yeah, everything so far seems fine. I don't have any warning messages. Yeah, charging port door seems okay. Now I'm just gonna have to drive home. It's another hour and a half and a bit to get home, so hopefully everything works out great. I'm gonna roll the video up here, wrap the video up. I will say this: the experience was great. The only two things that I think could have been improved, one are, you know, the fact that the tech that went for the ride with me didn't seem to know what type of CV shafts are in these vehicles. They're not the same as other vehicles. They're very, very different from most other vehicles. Most other makes and models of CV shafts generally have a solid shaft between both joints, whereas this has a little sort of slip shaft, slip yoke, known as a different thing, a bearing shaft. There's a few different names for it. And they didn't clean it, neither the inside nor the outside, so that's a little disappointing. You know, for a high value luxury vehicle, I would have expected it to be cleaned for me for pickup, but they didn't do that. So, but that's fine. They're probably just a little short staffed or something like that, or maybe they just don't have a cleaning bay here. So, in any case, yeah, no complaints otherwise. Did a great job, and here's hoping everything is actually fixed. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below, and if you thought this video was fun or helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the links in the description below, because I've got links to different companies where you can save money on accessories, especially for your electric vehicle. Check out EV Vita, Link iFun, A to Z, and all of the different links that I have in there. You can use Ed's Garage as a promo code to save some money. If you use your Rivian for off-road camping, then definitely check out Bodega Cooler and AMZ Chef. Some great products there for backcountry camping. Things like coolers, like powered coolers, refrigerators, cooktops, that sort of thing. Things that work absolutely great with a Rivian. In any event, thank you again. Have a great day, and until next time, take care.